Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of hopsgeeknews, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and typically we feature a beer of the week. We are getting ready this week to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Supernatural. Hard to believe it's been that long, especially considering but Lauren and I both did not start right at the beginning. 2005, we were off on different adventures, doing crazy things. Lauren was in law school. I was leaving my freshman year, going into sophomore year of high school. Yeah. So lots of cool things. However, we are going to talk about season 13, just the first batch of episodes. If you've been following our journey so far, we like to dive into break it down each season because we're not going to talk all 23 episodes. We like to recap the episodes and then kind of go into our thoughts and feelings. So make sure you like, subscribe, share anywhere that you find Hops Geek News on podcast platforms, social media platforms. You'll find us there, and make sure you let us know what your favorite episodes of Supernatural were as well, because this is a big moment. 20 years. We have something special planned. We are going to be doing a live trivia session of Supernatural on the 20th or next Tuesday or tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be on Nerd Initiative. And then Wednesday we'll be going live just to celebrate Supernatural. So that's this week. A lot of Supernatural fun going on.
It's a good way to kind of ease into these spooky times because I'll tell you what, man, I was in Massachusetts this past weekend. I went to Salem. I showed the kids some cultural aspects, right? I went to all these places as field trips and stuff, but my kids are obsessed with Wednesday Addams. And so I said, let's go see some spooky stuff. So I took them to the witch museums and all that kind of cool things. And it was 73 degrees. Wind was blowing. There was leaves that were being blown in the wind. It felt like fall. And so I'm fully torqued for fall. I'm here. I'm ready. Give me that
feel
fall,
like fall at all
man.
Here. I was at Animal Kingdom this morning. It was in the 90s.
Your balls off. Oh God, I'm not looking.
I still got my pumpkin spice latte hot. It was delicious.
Oh, you heathen! Jesus. It was like 52 degrees or something like that when I drove back yesterday from Massachusetts, and it was chilly out. And honestly, man, I was thriving. But of course, I got my pumpkin and stuff. But aside from that, I am drinking a Hatchet coffee porter from Boonshine Brewing Company. Have had this a long time ago. But I grabbed it when I was in North Carolina, one of my trips, and I figured that, hey, this was a good, supernatural theme. I got the Hatchet. Come on, like this is a cool can and all that kind of. It's a really delicious coffee.
That would have been good for the episode with Amara. What's the lady that killed Lizzie Bourdain?
Oh yeah, Lizzie Borden gave her parents 40 whacks, man. She wasn't married to Anthony Bourdain. Okay, chill.
Oh, is that what I confused? Okay.
Maybe. So that's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking over there, Lauren? What's a side word? I saw the can.
I'm drinking Brap, but I promise it's relevant this time. So it's a little fish on a motorcycle. In one of the episodes we're talking, Ketch comes back. And of course, he takes one of their motorcycles because he likes riding motorcycles. And I have it in my little side word like devil glass because Lucifer is big in these episodes as well as his son, Jack. And I also have I have a sticker on my table of Cass and Dean wearing their little cowboy hats. And we're going to talk Tombstone, one of the best ones.
Oh, I have not rewatched that yet because I just didn't get to it, but I was wanting to because I'm really excited about that episode.
That's a fun one.
I love it. I do love it. So yeah, if you're new, we ramble a little bit, apologies, but we go into what we've been reading or watching first. We go into some news, which you have some good little bit of news today. And then we go into our main topic. You can find the main topic listed, time, all that good stuff, timestamp, right? So going into what we've been reading or watching, Batman from Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez. Issue 1 is out. I've read the first 2 issues. Issue 1 is out. I highly recommend it. It's very vibrant. You get to see Batman kind of have a heart-to-heart with a villain, which is something you never really see. And I thought that was really cool. And it's a very daytime Gotham. So things popped and were very bright for me. It worked for me really well. DC Comics right there. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Issue 4 is out. Brian Buccellato, Christian Deuce, Luis Guerrero. Really loving this. Superman goes giant sized. He takes some serum. He goes giant sized. And so they're full of just crazy good moments where Superman's the size of Godzilla. They're going toe to toe. They're eye beams to, atomic breaths. It is freaking insane. And I don't know
So
how the artists do.
man.
Yeah. I mean, this is like one of those, like, you have to land the spots when you're doing big matches like this. It's kind of akin to wrestling, and they land the spots so far. This has been such a fun, just shut your mind off. Not really shut your mind off, because I feel like that's trashing it, but because I'm very much like engaged, but it's just monsters, big meaty monsters slapping other big meaty monsters. And that's what I want. I want big meaty monsters slapping meat. And yeah,
Interesting.
so aside from
I think
that,
you know a
last
guy.
DC comic I had was the Cheshire and Cheetah robbed the Justice League #2. This was a very Ocean's 11 vibe. It's, they're assembling their team, man. We're getting the team together. If you love a good heist film or a heist story, this one's for you. This issue freaking rocked. The artwork is so damn gorgeous. Cheetah, you actually really feel bad for her, because she doesn't want to be the way she is. And, the god that basically is torturing her makes her feed on certain things. And so she's trying to resist that. She's very much like humanistic. She has a moment with Cheshire's daughter that she calls Slick. And it's really cool. It's great. And you're seeing some characters that you've never really heard of before, but they're putting their team together. It does feel like a heist film. So I cannot recommend that enough. And then from Ghost Machine Image Comics, I did Sisterhood, a Hyde Street story, issue 3. This one was a roller coaster in its own right, because
It's quite
Violet,
creepy.
it's creepy, and there's parts where you feel bad for the sorority sisters. For example, the one girl that befriended Violet. And then there's times when you're just, oh yeah, these sisters kind of get what they deserve when they're kicking Sophie down the snowy mountain in a cage,
Right.
for example, right?
But if somebody's not familiar with this is a very dark comic. Like, you sounds like you're saying sorority sisters and they're being mean. It's like, no, in the first issue, somebody died, but she didn't just disappear. And so now she's there trying to like pull strings as a ghost. So it's very creepy. So don't let you hear
she's stuck in like
sisters.
a mirror world. She has to have mirrors. And there was did you see in the artwork when
the
one of the
artwork's
tires flew off?
fantastic how they do that.
It was, like the tire flew off, and then you saw the character that's trapped like in that tire rim. I thought that it was those little details that really stick out to me. I love when they do that. So good, man.
Part of Hyde Street, and the Hyde Street comics. Like, if you want a spooky, creepy comic, I mean, no time better than
Hyde Street's so good.
Season. Like Hyde Street, there's something for everyone with Ghost
This
Machine.
one was Maytel Shoot, and then that team, but Jeff Johns does the main Hyde Street run, and they have all these little spin-off characters that are coming onto Hyde Street. Cannot recommend enough. So those are my comics. Before I kind of get into watching, why don't you go into your comic books?
So speaking of Ghost Machine, I did the Rockefellers. This is
nice.
Rockefellers is my favorite Ghost Machine comic right now.
That's what you've been saying. It's still holding up for you.
It is still holding up. It's fun because the flashbacks are in the future, because this is a family that's hiding in the year 2025, but they're from the year like 2500. And so they're in the time, I keep wanting to say Time Variance Authority. They are in the Time Zone Witness Protection Program. Recently found out that the person who is quote unquote hunting them is a family member that you didn't see coming. So we still don't know the exacts of it, but it's very interesting because we keep learning more and more and more. So we have an idea of why they're running, but it's so cool because why they're running has to do with like futuristic technology, and they go into like the ethical like consequences of using certain futuristic technology. And you just get like a little more each issue, but they're still a family and they're still raising kids and they're still doing these things. So even though like the mom is an astronaut from the 25th century, they're 2400. So they're from the 25th century. And so mom's an astronaut, dad's like an inventor, and they're from the future, but they're still so incredibly relatable, because the fact of the matter is raising kids is, I believe, kids are little shits no matter what year it is. So
kids are exhausting.
Take it from somebody who, and all that. Yeah. So that one's really good.
Time traveling too at that. That's cool. I've only read the first issue, man. I'm so behind on that. And Hornsby and Halo that I should probably buy the trades of those. Redcoat and Hyde Street are the ones I'm up to date on. Geiger and Rook, Rook's getting ready to come back, but all those other ones
I'm up to date on, but they've been gone for a while.
Yeah, they're coming back October, so they're getting ready to come back. So now's a good time to probably catch back. I like them all. I just, there's only so much time in a day.
I know.
And comic books too, to just read, and I don't want to take all of the reviews to be greedy, so I can read all these. So then,
you also have to find time to write all the reviews.
Well, exactly, and then I do buy my comics too. Like the ones I review, I typically do buy as well to support them. But
I do as well, and then I have two piles. One of ones I've already read, and one of ones I haven't read.
See, it's good because we want to support the comic shops and we want to support the creators. And then I don't know, man, I'm just making excuses now, which after this, I'll tell you about the comic adventures I had this weekend.
So I also did 2 Wolverine comics this week. One was Laura Kinney.
Whoa.
She's dealing with getting her sister back. We met, we're dealing with Dracula's son, which is an interesting character I haven't seen.
Ooh,
But
that's a cool
what's really
inclusion.
interesting is how it ended is the same way that Wolverine number 13 ended, where they both had a very next, and it was the same next. So I'm guessing we're going to see a crossover next.
Oh,
But Wolverine's still
speaking
really funny.
of,
He was gangster for a day. It was kind of it seemed like it was a
oh, that's
standalone, but
cool.
it
A
was
gangster
and it
for
was
a day.
also related to the giant size X-Men that came out a couple months ago. That was
Oh,
like a
yeah.
one-off. So it was connected. You don't have
Riley actually was looking for Laura Kinney when we went to the comic shop. We went to Comictopia in downtown Boston, which God, I paid $55 to park, which I'm not mad. It's just whoa, my mistake. It's by Fenway Park over by Kenmore Square. And so it was my bad. I knew there was a game I could have planned better, but I didn't care. It was about the hangs and the vibes. That's why I didn't give a shit. But he was looking for Laura Kinney because when he went into the store, they had everything. It was awesome. They had all the compact books. They had all Marvel's every issue of Unlimited, and they had every issue of the Absolute runs and the trades and just everything lined up. But they didn't have Laura. I didn't see Laura Kinney because Riley said that you suggested it and he's been looking for it. So
yeah, and the trade will be out soon if it's not already.
Yeah, we didn't find any of the books.
Ago.
We just didn't
that's
find it.
Because it sold out.
Yeah, hopefully, but he was looking for that actually. Fun. He took your advice. Good little child.
I've been really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I also read some Daredevil. I finished the Chip Zdarsky. So I read the 20 issues, and we meet Cole North. So now I understand why everybody was confused about Cole North and Daredevil.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing with Daredevil, not being himself and not being Daredevil, and Fisk is mayor, so it goes into all that. But it has a fun, gangster kind of vibe as well.
Yeah.
And Daredevil, one scene was really funny. He's sleeping with Elektra, but he still has his mask on. Not his Daredevil mask. His vigilante, just black and whitey tighties. That's what he's wearing in the scene.
Okay, hey, we don't kink shame on this podcast, okay? They whatever. What is happening? Elektra has a fetish, okay? We don't kink shame.
No, I think he's still trying to hide his identity from her. And they're sleeping together. That was what I got. I could have been wrong and could have read that wrong.
Oh. I just assumed she always kind of knew, but I guess that makes sense. Interesting.
They talk about Stick, they both were trained by Stick, so I was like, oh, she must know. But then I was like, why is he doing that? And then she kept referring to him as Daredevil, not Matt.
Yeah, they're role playing. Come on.
If anybody's read it and wants to call me out,
never
please do so. Because I did read a good chunk of it with a lot of beer on the Mickey boat, so I could be wrong.
I think I actually have a lot of those issues, the single issues in the comic boxes I got, so I need to go through those. I also got a box full of X-Men ones today that I have to go through for you, but I did pick up a trade though this weekend. I picked up Devil's Reign, which is basically Fisk taking out all the heroes and he's in charge of New York City. I've never read Devil's Reign, and I know that was kind of a Daredevil Born Again season 1 inspiration, season 2 inspiration. So I need to go. I have to read. I just picked up the trade. It was between that and a couple other ones. They had all of the good reads, but unfortunately I couldn't, I wasn't able to spend hundreds of dollars right at this time. So I got to bring stuff back and carry it around the city with us because we were walking around. So I did get Harper asked for a Taylor Swift book. Nope, she got actually I want to shout out the guy's name was Matt working behind the thing. I do got to shout out him real quick, Matt at Comictopia, because Harper was looking at the books. Right when you walk into the left, there's kids books, and she saw Bluey, she was excited, and then she saw Taylor Swift, and I was like, no, what else is there? But the guy came up and he said something was wrong with this specific Bluey book, and they couldn't really, had to sell it half off or something, and they're waiting for the next shipment to come in. So he goes, she can just have it. And I was like, dude, that's wicked rowdy. That was really nice of you to do. Because he didn't have to do that, but he saw her, looking at all the books and really interested in things. I think that's awesome because it's a great way to keep kids engaged, number one, and just, I don't know, it's always exciting when you go to the comic book shop and it's a really nice shop and then the people in there are cool. And
yeah,
I know, I just love New England, but I did drive. It took me 13 hours. God dang, it took me 13 hours to drive there. So you know what I did on Thursday, aside from getting rear-ended, was I threw on a couple of movies in the car. So I like to break up my drives. Instead of podcast, I put my phone. I don't watch.
Listen to movies.
Disclaimer. Yeah, no. Okay. So disclaimer, I do not watch. The kids were watching. I like to listen because in my head, movies help pass time faster than typically.
Right. And if they're movies
things.
You've seen before, then you can still follow.
Yeah,
along.
I can listen and still know what's going on. So I watched Thunderbolts with the kids. I put Thunderbolts on. They were kind of into it. And then Oliver was asking about Ava. He's like, Ghost, who is she? All this. And I go, well, she's an Ant-Man and the Wasp. So we watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I think I didn't appreciate fully the first time I watched it. Is it a great, perfect film? No, but your boyfriend Walton Goggins was in there.
Oh,
I forgot that.
It's not my boyfriend.
He was in it. But I also forgot just how funny it was at the same.
It is a good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Okay. It's Scott's on house arrest still. His family is all about it. I love that his daughter buys time and he doesn't get, outed. And I
Yeah.
love that what's his name? James Park, also is here not just trying to catch him and
You have the
everything like
truth
that.
serum and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not truth serum. It sounds like
Oh
truth
shit,
serum.
it
That
is
whole scene, I
truth
forgot how great it
serum. Yeah.
was. Yeah. And Luis was, I missed, I think that's another miss that Quantum Mania had, was not having Luis in the crew at the same time,
Serious.
because they
Yes.
brought a lot of fun and humor, and they also helped out with they should have kept with the heist aspects. They could have heisted something from Hang, I
They
guess.
kept like heisting each other. It was like they
Yeah.
kept stealing from each other. But I actually rewatched it before Thunderbolts. I rewatched.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because we did a whole episode on it. Remember?
That's right. I really, yeah. And I really, that's an underrated, but I also
Yeah.
put
So
on
I think
Spider-Man.
some of these are just better when you watch them the second time. It's like you watch them without judgment
do.
because you're just going in for pure entertainment.
It was. I like the Ant-Man movies anyways. I'm a big Paul Rudd guy. I even can
who the hell
stand
isn't? Paul Rudd's
Evangeline
amazing.
Lilly. And I actually think
He'll always be Josh to
oh
me.
God, what's his name is really good in it too. Why am I blanking on? He's like Michael Douglas.
Red
Jeez,
Guardian?
Louis.
Oh, Michael Douglas.
No, Michael Douglas in Ant-Man
Yeah.
movies. I think he does I love him and
Thanks,
Michelle
Tim.
Pfeiffer together.
He
in
is
those
pretty
movies,
good.
And
Well, they're both
yeah,
phenomenal actors. Yeah.
yeah, and but aside from that, I did put on Spider-Man the '90s animated series for Oliver, and we're on season 3 now because we watched it also on the way back, and he was very into it. When Wolverine and Beast and them showed up, there's the saga where Spider-Man is becoming mutated into the big spider, and he meets Wolverine in them because he thinks Professor Xavier can help him, and he's kind of like rude and mean to the mutants. And then we have the Venom saga, and it's kind of crazy. It's like the whole mutant thing. It's really good. Yeah, Oliver was super into.
Actually been watching the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, so we've been going in order. He's almost done with the third one. Then we're going to do Andrew Garfield and then Tom Holland, and I can't wait to see his little mind explode when he sees all 3 Spider-Men
All of them
in
together.
one scene.
That's
and then next year, hopefully he will be able to sit still. Yes, and see that in theaters. He saw Across the Spider-Verse in theaters, but that was still animated, and he
that
see at the end. Yeah. But it's like, when I bring my kids to their first MCU movie, they're threatened that they are not allowed to use the restroom. They're not allowed to talk.
Sit down.
And after Braille made fun of me for crying in Spider-Man,
they get threatened to
not make fun of Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Just like,
no, that's going to be awesome. Yeah, you should show him these because I think
Tobey Maguire is on the screen.
Oliver has actually found his love of Transformers recently too, and so the same Transformers movies have been on over. And I swear to God, there's just a script to these Transformers movies. It's Optimus Prime and the Autobots get their asses whooped, and then somehow the humans are helping a lot, and then you got Optimus Prime be like, I am Optimus Prime and Earth is, but he gives his speech, roll credits. It's the same thing over and over.
The first one's just so freaking amazing. They were never able to redo that.
No, yeah, it's is what it is. But before we go to news, anything that you've kind of gotten into on the watching side of the house? I know we're.
Funny enough, I just finished an episode or a book called Supernatural: Heart of the Dragon. This is the 4th in the series. They are connected to the show. It's actually really good. It was the Keith guy that I met at New York Comic Con. He's done a couple of the other books as well. This one takes place right after Changing Channels, and Cass is in it. But it's really cool because it goes from like Mary and Sam hunting to John hunting and Bobby watching the kids, to the boys hunting, and they're all fighting the same monster. It's every 20 years. But it's the monsters correlated to the impending apocalypse where Dean and Sam are supposed to be the vessels for Michael and Lucifer. I really liked it. If you want more of my thoughts on that, I'm not going to break it all down here. I did do a full-on review for Nerd Initiative, so you can go to nerdinitiative.com and search a book review. Or you can go to our link tree and click on my name through that. And Dexter just finished. So good.
Oh,
if you gave up on Dexter.
The season's over?
The season's over, but I do think they're going to keep it going because I think that was why they canceled. I heard through the grapevine. I don't know. The New Blood, they were only going to keep one. So Dexter Resurrection, 10 episodes, season 1, so good. It ended so good. So I hope, and they ended kind of on a cliffhanger, so they have to keep going. But if you gave up on Dexter, I don't want to say you should definitely go back because I don't know if they're going to end this overall well. But this season was phenomenal.
All right, yeah,
that's all I got.
Well, rolling into some news. Marvel Zombies, the trailer is out. Show comes out September 24th. And there's a really cool fight sequence with Blade that's set to the band Baby Metal featuring Poppy. If you're a fan, I know I am. So that's all I needed to know, that I was hooked on these 4 episodes that are getting ready to come out. I cannot wait to see that. And another one that I can't wait to see is Welcome to Derry, also coming out October 26th on HBO Max. That's like a prequel for It. So I'm pretty interested. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited excited. I don't love the It
You sure
movies, but
about
like
that?
I actually have Erica and Brandy literally texting me right now about it. They literally just texted me, "Oh, this date
Oh,
is
really?
confirmed." They both read the book and they both said it was their favorite Stephen King book.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
haven't read it. Maybe I should grab it. Maybe I should read it.
I want to
But
go see The
yeah,
Long Walk. That's about to come out. That one looks really good.
yes, I just finished that book. I
Oh,
can't wait
how
to
did that?
see that.
Was that a great book? Like that's one of
It
the big
was a
ones?
good book. Again, I did a full review on Nerd Initiative, but what was interesting about The Long Walk is like it's super creepy. They're literally the whole book is just during this walk, but they keep you fully entertained the whole time. But they don't really tell you why the world is in the state that it is and why these boys are doing this. So I'm hoping they go into that in the movie. But I cannot. Erica just finished the book too, so I would think we're gonna go as soon as the movie comes out.
Did
But yeah,
you
they're
see
literally texting me right now
the
about Welcome to Derry.
did you see the movie theater that chat like people came in there and they had treadmills and
Yes,
they had to walk? That I actually would be super
I
down
would
for
do
that to
that.
see how
Yeah,
long I could go. And then like they would ask you, could you imagine getting close to the end of the movie and then you failed and you had
have
to
to
leave?
leave.
Dude,
Well,
I'm getting through on pure spite at that point.
Well, what's crazy though is so in the movie they said you have to maintain 3 miles an hour. That doesn't sound too bad. In the book, it's 4 miles an hour. That's jogging. I'm not a fast runner. That is
I
jogging.
was trying to think in my head how
That's
because
15
3 miles.
minutes, like
Oh,
a
really?
mile. Yeah, that's
Yeah, because
4 miles an hour is 15 minutes an hour, or 15
because
minutes a mile.
3 minutes really doesn't seem that fast, but you try doing that for an extended period of time, and I don't care how fit you are. Yeah, you're gonna tire out, like, and you're gonna want to, all that stuff. Do they stop for food? I'm curious. Okay, don't tell me. I'll watch. Okay, I haven't read the book. I need to. Like, now I got a lot of questions. Let's move on. What other news do
They
we
don't
have?
stop. They don't stop.
Dang.
So some other news: the creators of Peaky Blinders, which I haven't watched but I've heard is good, is doing a show on Netflix about the start of Guinness called House of Guinness. That will be out September 25th.
Beer?
I intend on watching that. Yeah, with us being a beer
Oh,
podcast, I felt like I
oh,
had to
wait a
share that
second.
news.
So, like, is it kind of a mob show about how the beer started? Is it kind of like that? Is it like Yellowstone, but Netflix's
I hope
version
it
of
might be.
Guinness?
I hope so. I'm really interested because like the history of like Guinness, like, I've
I'm
looked
pretty
into the history
intrigued now.
before when we did beer schools back in the day during COVID. And I've even like sat on with Girls Pine Out and like listened to somebody who works at Guinness talk about Guinness and the history. And so I'm really excited for
Ooh,
that. I'm sure
okay.
it'll be like historical fiction.
I'm into that. I can
Kirkman
get
has
down.
said Invincible season 4 is wrapping up. The animation should be out early 2026, but of course it's Prime. We don't have a set date yet.
I know that always drives me nuts. Just
Why
like
don't you
this
take
does.
these?
Star Wars, Starfighter with Ryan Gosling. Allegedly, it's filming. There was a picture that's been shared. Now, I'm not sure I believe any Star Wars film is filming until even the credits are rolling in the theater, just because I've been burned so many times from Star Wars. But I will say I am cautiously optimistic and excited because of the cast. And I really just want some more Star Wars, man. Like I do. This one,
Everyone seemed very excited about the picture.
yeah, I mean, it's Ryan Gosling. First of all, I could watch him read the Bible. And the fact that
I
he's going to be in a
just
Star
want
Wars movie, yes. I am excited for Screenboat, which is coming to Peacock September 12th. Yes, we're doing an episode. However, also our patrons, that's like a high demand for the patrons that want to watch together, like that movie they want to watch together. So I think we'll be watching it as well with them. So we'll probably watch it first ourselves and then probably watch it together there. We'll figure that out. We got to figure out anyways for some spooky stuff. But aside from that, I'm not sure how I feel about serial killer movies, on true stories, but Monster, the Ed Gein story is coming out on Netflix October 3rd.
Wait, that's a real one?
Ed Gein? Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know that, or I wouldn't have put that in there. It said I saw it come up, and it said it was before Silence of the Lambs. So I thought it was a prequel to Silence of the Lambs.
No,
No,
he
I
was
don't
like,
like real serial killer stuff. I
yeah,
like
he
my
wore like
serial
clown
killers
stuff. Ed
from
Gein's
Miami.
pretty jacked up, man. Like his stuff's pretty like true crime on that true crime podcast. That one, he's pretty jacked up.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, that's how much I know about true crime. Okay, delete.
All right. Well, so why don't
Why
you
did
take
it
us
say
to some
before Silence
brighter
of the
news?
Lambs? Just a reminder, Thunderbolts is on Disney Plus now if you haven't seen it or you want to watch it again. Knight Rider is apparently coming back in movie form. This is from the people
Really?
who did Cobra Kai. When we know more, we will let you know more. But Knight Rider made a cameo in Supernatural. Remember when Baby was Knight Rider?
Yeah.
Well, Sam was Knight Rider. I
Okay.
don't know. And then Matt Smith says that House of the Dragon is almost done filming season 3, and Percy Jackson season 2 out December 10th,
I'm pumped
and 3 is in
Percy
production.
Jackson. Thank you. That's how it should be done, Amazon, especially because they're kids. So you got to actually kind of move faster. Stranger Things. Also, side note,
kids are so grown.
I do have one. Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown just adopted a kid, so there's that. But I will say this as well. One last piece of news: the Bath and Body Works, if you're like me and love fall candles, they are, I believe, out now is their Disney Villains line. I don't know what they smell like. I went to the store today because I was told they were out it now. And I went there as Lauren's looking at Ed Gein, and he's the butcher of Plainfield. But yeah, the Disney candles weren't there yet. So I'm hoping to go this weekend and get some Disney villains candles. But yes,
What
Ed
are they
Gein
going to
very much
smell
good.
like?
I
Cruella
don't
going to
know.
smell like dead puppies?
Listen,
Maybe
I'm
Ursula will smell like the ocean.
toast my dogs. They've been acting crazy. And then my sister's dog was about to,
In
my sister's dog
response
was
to
about to
one of
get the
the
Anchorman treatment.
Oh, geez. The Jack Black Anchorman treatment. No, somebody said in
Absolutely.
response to Snoop Dogg being like, getting upset about the whole like the gay couple in Buzz Lightyear. Somebody's like, look, gay people in movies aren't going to make your kids gay. Like, I never gave anybody a poisoned apple and like tried to kill them. Like, that's
Also
not
true.
how that works.
Yeah, that's not how any of this works. Ah, brother. Well, speaking of Supernatural, never made me go out and do demon hunting, although sometimes my children act like demons. Haven't
do wear
exercised any
flannels
demons,
now.
but we are going to take a quick. That's
Didn't
true.
used to wear
I don't.
flannel.
Oh, you. I thought you said me. I was like, what are you talking about? I've
I
always
said we
worn
do
flannel.
wear
Anyway,
flannels.
you're right. So, all right. Quick break. Be right back. Supernatural. Season 13, Part 1, Episodes 1 through 7, kicking it off with Episode 1, Lost and Found. Jack looks at Sam and says, Papa, Papa. Meanwhile, Dean
Father?
stares at a dead Castiel and then walks
Aw.
inside of the house where he sees Jack and shoots. Jack gets kind of crazy. He goes all super powered on them. He's got them in the air, throws them across the room. How they are able to function at all with the amount of times they've been put through furniture, walls, and everything, beyond me. Anyways, Jack continues to look for his papa and ends up at Pirate Pete's Jolly Treats. Yes, he is naked running around town. One of the teen employees has a mom sheriff, so he gives her a call because, again, Jack is booty naked out there. He run around,
Very
cheeks and everything
naked.
in the wind. So some angels show up.
In
They're
his
looking for
birthday
Jack.
suit.
That's right. And they find a dead Castiel. The sheriff mom gets Jack some clothes, tries to help him out, and that's when Jack tells her he's looking for his father. Sam tracks down Jack after stopping at the pirate spot, which those two teenagers hilarious. While Sam calls the sheriff, Dean punches and prays to Chuck. Punches a bunch of stuff. And then he prays to Chuck to bring Cass back, his mom, and Crowley. Yes, we do get a mention of Crowley because that was my biggest pet
I
peeve.
love that he's like, even Crowley. I love that he mentioned Crowley.
Well, it's honestly, Dean shows some real emotion in that scene too. He's just out there and he's having that breakdown by himself. And it's not something you really see often with Dean because he's always the stoic. He's the older brother. He's got to be tough. And so I really loved Jensen. Yeah. I really liked the energy Jensen was bringing to that scene and then the start of this season in general. And back at the station though, the electricity starts to sparkle, which because Jack is getting candy out of the vending machine. He really likes nougat. And he's very hungry as well. He's just very hungry.
Of course he is. Babies start nursing as soon as they're born.
I mean, the guy came out and grew to be like a grown-ass man right away. So he's pretty hungry. Those growing pains, you got to feed. All right, come on. Jack gets a headache, accidentally tosses the sheriff across the room, which is when Dean walks in, and then Sam tases him. Dean then tells the sheriff the actual truth. As Jack wakes up in a cell next to Sam, Jack explains when he gets scared, things kind of just happen. He then explains that he's looking for Cass, not Lucifer, because Kelly said Cass would keep him safe. Sam then tells Dean that Jack is just a kid, and they need him to open the portal again to get their mom. This is when angels show up. They want Jack, of course, because he's Satan's baby. Jack gets another headache because it's angel radio. Sam blasts some of the angels away. Anyways, I just started blasting angels. The only angel standing stabs Jack with the angel blade. Sam stabs the angel. Jack just pulls the angel blade out like it's nothing, says, not today, sucker.
He just looks so confused. He's like, what's in me? I mean, it was literally like an infent, like pulling, like, why are you putting clothes on me? Or be like an infant pulling their headband off. Like, why is this on my head?
Yeah, no, he's very innocent, right? And Dean thinks Jack's still evil. They bring him home so they can keep an eye on him. Now, back at the cabin, Jack says his goodbyes to his mom as Dean wraps up Castiel and they give him a good old vampire, Viking pyre, hunter's goodbye. As they say goodbye to Cass, Kelly, Crowley, and their mom, Dean is most certain that Lucifer killed Mary because they're in this other world, which then we cut to actually. Mary's still very much alive with a very snarky Lucifer. Cut.
Man, when isn't he snarky?
Okay, but I actually was loving the energy he was bringing in this apocalypse world. It's very sarcastic, and I was all about it, especially because it was to Mary, because I hate you, Mary.
It.
Very
we
much
all
so.
hate Mary.
She's just so selfish. I feel like if half of her selfish acts she didn't do, everything wouldn't be so bad, all right?
I feel like if she had died doing that, I feel like that would have been redeeming. If she had died, like, she said, I love you, she took a note from Kelly.
They
Kelly's
should have done that.
Yeah, wouldn't you do anything for your boy? She said, I love you, and she punched Lucifer. And I think that they would have needed to see her die, though, or they would have never given up. But that would have been a great redeeming thing and said they had to bring her back and have her
Oh,
cause
they
all
really
the
drug it
her
out,
death
man.
cause all the drama. And yeah, we'll get to that in later seasons. But
Drama.
did you recognize the kid at the pirate place? Not the kid whose mom was a sheriff, the other kid.
I don't think so.
Did you ever watch Bad Santa?
Yeah. Oh, the fat kid? That was him?
That's him. That's Thurman Merman.
I don't think. Oh my God. I'm so tired of seeing Billy Bob Thornton in those T-Mobile commercials. Speaking of, it's like how far the mighty have fallen. They're awful. Just so you know. Yeah. Okay. So
some fun fact. This is the first time we see Sam actually kill an angel. And so this came from IMDb. I don't know if this was intentional or not. If it was intentional, it is kind of interesting.
I'm in.
So there's a line that says, it's the kid whose mom is a sheriff. He's fired me like 7 times and I keep coming back. They're claiming it's a nod to how many times Castiel has died. He died in Lucifer Rising, Swan Song, Meet the New Boss, Hello Cruel World, What's Up Tiger Mommy, I'm No Angel, and all along the Watchtower. Maybe not.
I mean, I feel like that's too many coincidences, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's like pushing it. But you know what? If that was intentional, then, that's a cute nod, I suppose. But I didn't try to fact check that anywhere. I was just kind of like, all right, I'll take it. It was actually on the Supernatural Wiki and on IMDb. Another fun fact is when Dean is wrapping up Cass and he's very sad, there is an outtake of him giving Misha a what do you call it? A nut shot or something.
Oh, yeah. What's the capital of Thailand? Bangkok.
There you go. And you see like all of a sudden, like, because Misha's sitting there fully still and all of a sudden he's like, oh, and he curls up.
That's just dudes being bros, all right? That's just dudes being bros right there. That's
touching each other's junk. It's just
it's not. Listen, all right. Okay. All right. To be fair though, like if you're not doing that with your guy friends, there's something wrong with you. All right. Okay. That's all I gotta say. If you're not out there nut punching each other, doing weird stuff, like come on.
I will say though, like they have this outtake of them being silly and him not punching him. And then you see Dean never having looked so broken as when they're bringing
right?
Cass and Kelly.
That was such an emotional scene too. And it's like, hold on. How did we go from nut punches to look, actors, man, that's acting. I'm an actor.
I mean, he can't even say that Cass is gone. He's like, Mom's gone. Crowley's gone. Or he said Crowley's dead. Mom's gone. And he's like, can't even.
Which is telling, right? Because he can say Mom's gone, but he couldn't even get Cass's name out, which just shows how he's a little puppy baby. But Jack is very school shooter vibes in this episode, so I kind of see where Dean's coming from. Look, okay,
I don't like that because Dean's shooting now and asking questions later, and like he had this whole evolution.
Dean kind of get a little off the rails.
No longer doing that, and now he just straight up just shoots him with a regular gun. He didn't even have the Colt.
He's grieving. Okay. The man's going through it.
All right, episode 2, The Rising Sun.
All right, what happens in The Rising Sun?
We meet Asmodeus, the 4th Prince of Hell. He tells the demons he will rule until Lucifer returns with his son. Then he kills the Crowley followers and tells the demons Jack is not an infant. They need to find him. He is going to be grown. And they need to find Lucifer too. Asmodeus then tells the demons he wants to pull hell's most savage out of hell. And Jack can help with that. So that's why he needs Jack. However, he also mentions Lucifer scarred his face for disobeying him. And he is now Lucifer's to command. But then he doesn't seem, So in Apocalypse World, Lucifer has kept Mary alive so he can later trade her for Jack. Suddenly, Mary vanishes. Lucifer finds her because he saves her from a creepy human who's about to do some not consensual things to her. But then he tortures her a bit to insist they stay together. They then run into angels who Lucifer snaps away, and then we meet Otherworld Michael, who is also A-Train's brother. So the boys get a hotel for some sleep, and Dean hands Jack a Bible to read. As the boys eat, Jack starts to mimic Dean, just like a child would do to their parent. They ask him if he can teleport. He doesn't understand. They're like, if you want to be somewhere else, can you go? And he opens the door and walks out of the door, and he's like that? It's adorable. And they ask if Lucifer ever reached out to him, which makes Jack actually feel uneasy. He has like a memory of Lucifer. A still soulless Donatello suddenly shows up. He explains he's navigating not having a soul by asking himself in any moral conflict, what would Mr. Rogers do? Something we should all do, rather referring to Steve Rogers or Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
He then tells them he's there because he felt a huge wave of power a few days ago, and it's here. Then he looks at Jack. He says he can see waves of power coming off of Jack, but it's not dark or toxic like he saw on Lucifer. They then take Jack to get an anti-possession tattoo, which doesn't work out so well. He causes a guy to fly across the room, and then once the guy finishes the tattoo, it suddenly vanishes. So then Donatello, Dean, and Cass argue about whether or not Jack is good.
Freaking Donatello, man. That guy is such a goober. I swear to God.
He is a goober. Well, now he's a goober without a soul.
Yeah, I love Donatello, but he is so like, I don't know, he almost comes off as a cartoon character to me during his beginnings. He's just so cartoonish, but it's not a bad thing. I don't mean that by a bad thing. He's
Yeah,
just
no, when we first meet him, it's
goofy.
hilarious though, because he's like, "But I'm an atheist." They're like, "Not anymore."
Yeah, yeah,
But they're arguing in front of Jack, so Jack can hear them arguing about him and talking the whole nature versus nurture and how to raise this kid. So Asmodeus then pretends to be Donatello and takes Jack.
oh yeah,
The boys figure out he's been taken, and then Donnie suddenly feels Jack, and then some demons show up, they kill the demons, and then they follow Donatello to Jack. So Donatello's like, go that way, go that way. You can still, trace his signatures
to
of
a
power.
field where he's trying to reach Satan or hell.
It's creepy. This is, I think, one of the creepiest things.
That another thing with Donatello there is his acting was pretty solid because he's goofy, and then he gets really, as Asmodeus is over here possessing him, it's very much do it now, try harder, boy, and it's just like this is a little uncomfortable.
So Asmodeus, as Donatello, convinces Jack to open up the part of hell with the most savage of demons, but fake Donatello says it's the Shadim are actually God's soldiers that were sent to hell. So he's telling him, like, you're doing good work. These are good people that were just, sent to hell, and we need to free them. So obviously it's Asmodeus, who then makes Dean, Sam, and Donatello start to choke. Jack stops the demon and saves the boys and Donatello, and he tells them, like, those are my friends. But Dean still doesn't trust Jack. Now, back at the bunker, Dean catches Jack stabbing himself. Jack asks Dean, what the hell am I? Because Dean's like, what the hell, man? He's like, exactly, what the hell am I? He then tells Dean he will end up hurting somebody. Dean tells him Sam thinks he can be saved, but Dean doesn't.
Somebody save. Okay, but that is really messed up.
Has Dean, to die that he'll do it. So he tells Jack, like, look, if you go dark side, I'm going to be the one to kill you.
That was okay. That has like a really because Sam doesn't know this at the time, and Dean saying that is kind of, I get it. Again, my man, I get you're grieving. This is the son of Satan, but
I get that you're grieving, and this is the son of Satan. You suddenly make Dean more. But really, no, he's being mean to this.
Being really messed up, especially when I wanted to really touch on that nature versus nurture thing because, in real life, it's all about how you're brought up, and it's kind of that self-fulfilling prophecy in a way too. If you continuously be told you're one way, you're going to believe that you are that way, and so you're going to fulfill that you are that way. And it's like, Dean, after everything you've done, after everything you've seen, after what this kid's shown you, number one, number two, talking right off the rip about Cass, right? And how he wasn't even talking about Lucifer. It was right about Cass. And it's, dude, what, like, Dean, come on, man. Take your anger on a wall, Kyle. Like, God dang it, man.
Yeah, I don't like it. I never like when he's mean to Jack. Even when Jack loses his soul,
I
don't like it.
because he's like a small child. He is a small child, not like a small child. Like, mentally, he is a small child. And like, so there's there's that aspect to it as well, where you're just like, dude, this is not okay, Dean. You're not being a very good dad right now, first and foremost. So we kind of should chill, but
he hasn't taken over the fatherly role just yet.
You do raise a good point, though. Why did Kelly's hand burn when she touched the Bible, but Jack's didn't?
That always bothered me. And I thought, okay, maybe because when he was first created, he was more Lucifer than Kelly, and then Kelly's influence took over, maybe.
I guess.
I don't know. But that always, that always rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, I don't know. Because because he's got that Cass influence in.
Maybe. But he seemed like Kelly knew he was good before Cass knew he was good.
That's her baby, okay?
Maybe it was just because it was the first trimester. First trimester's hell.
Oh, I mean, that's what, and then by the third, you're just ready to be done. But yeah, that's fair. So, all right. Episode 3, patience. Speaking of the first trimester's hell, it's all about patience. So, Missouri is back. A man goes to a psychic, which is actually a wraith, killing the psychic. Oh, she was such a sweet lady too, by the way. Really loved this character. As I'm just uncomfortable.
Well, and we met her in season 1, and she was supposed to come back, but the actress couldn't come back, and that's how we got Bobby.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, back at the bunker, Dean's just pounding beers, man, while Sam shows Jack the video Kelly made him. Missouri calls Sam asking for help, to which Sam sends Jody to help so they can stay with Jack. This is when Dean decides to leave to help Missouri and Jody because, hey, we got to help her, man. All that kind of good stuff. He
doesn't want to stay at the bunker with Damien.
I'm actually cool with this because Dean needed to get out of there.
Yes.
Let Sam do his thing. Here's the nurturing one. Let Dean get out of there.
Stab
right?
something.
Now, Missouri figures out that the Wraith is feeding on psychics, then gets a vision of her son, who is, dead. Not dead yet, but a vision of her son being dead. Now, we learn her son cut her out, but she knows the Wraith is coming after her son and granddaughter, Patience, which, I'm going to be honest, that name kind of just drew, I hate it. I don't know why. Naming your kid Patience, I don't know. That's just one of those.
Her name's Missouri. That's an interesting one, too.
I know, man. It's all fake and made up. She sends Dean to help them. However, Missouri is then killed by the Wraith in a very cool, you're not going to get me screaming. He goes, that's less fun. What the heck?
I know. He wants that adrenaline pumping because he likes the psychics because their brains taste better. If anybody doesn't remember a Wraith, we met a Wraith at the psych ward.
Yeah.
I remember when the pudding episode.
Yes.
She's like, crazy brains taste better. So apparently psychic brains do too.
Apparently
so if you want to avoid a Wraith, have an average brain.
Good news. I have nothing going on upstairs. So there you go. Now, Patience is at school talking with a friend, which there's blood on the dance floor. It was a nightmare, maybe? Dean learns about Missouri on the news, so now he feels even more determined to save her family. Dean then tells her son that she's dead because he goes, blah, 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 go away, leave me alone. Which we cut to Patience reliving her nightmare in real life, and she sees a glimpse of her dead grandmother. The Wraith shows up. Patience breaks his little stabby thing.
Which is creepy.
That scene was kind of
slightly uncomfortable. Comes out of their wrist.
Like the whole thing, because they eat and feed, but she snapped it in half, and I don't know, something about that just felt like, ooh.
You know those things, what do you call them, that sticks with have hazelnut inside of them that you're supposed to dip in your coffee? I feel like that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Cracked, it seemed so fragile. It did sound
kind of like that. It was just fragile, which is interesting considering.
It was also like when Sabretooth breaks Wolverine's bone claws in Wolverine Origins. But that's probably a better description than the things you can dip in your coffee.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Dean shows up, chases him around. No luck. Jody then tells Patience that the Wraith, stalks psychics, to which Patience doesn't think that she is one. She then says that Missouri was a fake and abandoned them, to which Dean says that is not the Missouri he knows. Patience confronts her dad, who turns out, hey, lying. Missouri didn't abandon them. He was mad because Missouri said his wife would not die from cancer, and then she ended up dying from cancer. So then he tells Patience that Missouri thought she had the gift, to which Patience tells her dad that the dream last night came true. You a liar. As Patience packs her bags, the Wraith is in her room and grabs her, which if his thing is broken, how is he going to eat, feed?
I guess just like Wolverine, he must heal pretty quick.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe he has him in both wrists.
Maybe. Oh, he's kind of like Brock from Mortal Kombat.
Ambidextrous. How do you say that?
Ambidextrous, yes.
Ambidextrous.
James tracks her down with magic. Patience is tied up, and she then sees the Wraith kill everybody, but then they show up for realsies, guides everybody to not die, which I thought was really cool. Dean then kills the Wraith. The grieving Dean tells Patience that hunting is nothing but sadness, and she should live a normal life. However, Jody, has Patience to follow what she wants. Yeah, again, I get it. Meanwhile, Sam, who has been at the bunker with Jack, tries to get him to learn how to use his powers. They try to move a pencil, getting nowhere. Jack's getting really frustrated, so then Sam reads a book about raising gifted kids. Jack is very much struggling with thinking he's evil, and he tells Sam that Dean said he would kill him if he had to, which Sam tries to tell him that things he's done when people got hurt were not his fault. Very much true. Jack then asks why Sam is helping him, and he explains that he knows what it's like to have a darkness aside of him, and Dean and Cass and his family helped him through it. Dean comes home and asks if Jack has, hey, he's gone dark side yet? To which Sam tells him that Jack is messed up because Dean is over here saying, I'm going to kill you. Hello?
Not cool, Dean.
Hello, alcoholic father. You're being your own dad right now, who was not.
He's been drunk since he was born.
I'm just saying, okay? They two then argue. Sam says Dean saved him when he was drinking demon blood, and now they need to save Jack again.
Point. He's even Dad told you to put a bullet in me, and he's like, that was different. I don't think that it was.
I don't think it was at all. No, it really wasn't, because again, Dean was also a demon. Okay, and Sam stuck it through and saved him.
I didn't even think of that. Sam should have brought that up. We saved you when you were a demon.
Sam's locked in. He's making a lot of sense right now. All right, and I'm just saying, Sam may have his faults, but the man, he's right.
Dean's been a vampire. He's been a demon, and Sam brought him back. Yeah, Sam was addicted to demon blood. And
Sam stuck by him.
Had no soul.
Yes, he was still looking for, Dean when he got sent down to hell as well. And then, Sam had no soul, and Dean was there, and it's not different. It's really not.
Soul back.
Dean ends up screaming that he can't look at the kid without thinking of Castiel and what Jack promised Cass. He's overhearing. Jack overhearing says Castiel. His eyes then light up, to which we then see our first shot of the empty, to which Cass is there, which I thought was pretty. Come on, Dean, dude. I just cannot tell you how much I was What I'm aligning with, which I actually, upon rewatch, have found myself liking Sam more the second time around. The first time, I'm like, Sam has his moments, but I never was like, Sam guy. But the second time around, I'm just, maybe I was too harsh on Sam.
So I was more Sam my first watch at the beginning. And then as the show progressed, I went Dean. And then when I went to rewatch, I was like, 100% Dean. Sam gets whiny. But Sam is making good points now. Yes.
He is. Sam's very much in the right. Maybe I just have rose-colored glasses right now because Sam's make a lot of sense in this time. But
I think with this scenario with Jack, he 100% does. And I feel like Dean's grief for losing Cass, I think is clouding
Dean,
that.
Your feelings are valid, but come on,
I do
bro.
feel like Dean tends to be a more empathetic character than Sam. I think somebody actually, I think, commented that recently on one of our posts. And I was like, I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think you're dead on because you see Dean feel things more. Sam may be able to nod his head and show more compassion, but Dean feels more guilt for not saving everybody. And Sam does say that. He's like, because Dean feels responsible for everybody. And if you hurt anybody, he's going to feel like that's his.
Oh, that's a really good
on
point.
him.
Yeah. I didn't think about it like that, I guess.
Still, he's just, he's not being very nice.
No, not. Oh, God. What do you got for fun facts over here, though?
We got so one of the fun facts, when Sam first goes to show Jack the video of Kelly, in real life, on the first tape, Jared instead pulled a laptop up to show Alec porn. So that was the first thing he was seeing when he lifted the thing. They tortured this poor kid relentlessly. He showed up in the last couple of years, and they just were like so mean to him.
I do like seeing the outtakes, and then I love like his Comic-Con discussions of just like, man, I was hazed.
Yeah. Well, and then I heard Alex in one interview say that they had like gone out to dinner, and Jared's like, it's so hard to go back and forth between their real names and their fictional names. Jared's like, I'm going to pay for dinner. Don't worry. And then he literally got scissors and cut Alex's credit card. And he's like, so he was no longer hazing me as an actor. He's hazing my real life because he just cut my credit card.
You do kind of go a little far with cutting a man's credit card because that takes a while to come back in the mail, dude.
I guess he messed with Mark Sheppard once, and Mark Sheppard shut it the fuck down. He was not.
I could see that.
So another fun fact: Patience and her dad actually play cousins in Letterkenny. And the dad has actually played a demon before back in season 3. My last fun fact is the book Sam is reading while he's giving Jack a break is called, quote, The Drama of the Gifted Child. So this is actually written by a Holocaust survivor and psychoanalyst, Alice Miller. But what's very interesting is the book is about a dysfunctional family dynamics and the resulting emotional abuse inflicted on the sensitive child who is aware that the relationships they have with their parents or who's raising them are not normal, but still must learn to find a way in this world without the guidance that normal kids would usually get from parents. So it was a spot on perfect book for Sam to be reading.
All right. I love Papa Sam. It's all the more reason why he should have been married with babies, beautiful little babies with Eileen. Okay.
He was.
I said what I said. So speaking of,
he married Eileen.
The big
blurry
empty.
lady was Eileen. Episode 4, The Big Empty. So a guy comes home to see his dead wife alive, who then kills him, and she walks away. Dean stumbles upon the case, and Sam says, let's bring Jack on the case. Sam goes to get Jack, who is watching Clone Wars. Turns out Jack likes Ahsoka, even though he can't say her name right, and he hates Anakin. So a-hunting they will go. Jack is eager to learn.
How do you hate Jack after that, Dean, huh?
Well, he did say Ahsoka. I don't remember what he said. He's like, Ahsoka. I don't know. He said it weird. So Dean has him dig up the dead wife's grave. Her body is there, so not a revenant, but also no EMF. And this is actually cute because Jack is like, what's a revenant? So he learns about a zombie.
Yeah, he's very excited to learn.
Yes.
It's a hunting trip.
For like episodes, quite a few episodes, like he's all about zombies. He wants everything to be a zombie.
Yeah.
And so I remember when he finally gets
because he's a child who gets like hyper fixated.
Yeah. And I remember when he finally gets a zombie, and Dean's like, I think you're about to get your zombie, kid. All right. So then we see a lady with a blown out tire, and suddenly her dead child is alive in the back seat, and he kills her. The two victims have a grief therapist in common. So the boys go to the therapist and they tell her that they just lost their mom. So while they're supposed to be undercover, they're really 100% getting therapized.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's a word. Well, it didn't say it's not a word. I think it is. So Sam storms out.
Boom, therapized.
He's legit like angry storms out, but then he sneaks around and he finds out she's a shifter. So while the therapist tells Dean he's angry and aiming it at everyone, and that she's looking at Jack and she's like, he is scared of you. Sam suddenly busts in with a gun and yells she's a shifter. She tells him she's never killed anyone. She then tells them that she shifts into people that her patients have lost. So the patients can say goodbye because we're hardwired for closure. She gives them her alibis for the deaths, which they follow up and say, yeah, she's good. And it turns out she thinks it's her ex. So Dean and Jack go off, and Sam and the therapist go through security footage. They see some flared eyes. They figure out who it is. So Sam then takes off. Then Jack asks the therapist to be his mom. So she does. So we get a very sweet scene with Jack and fake Kelly. And it's very cute because he's, he's like, they think I'm a monster. And she tells him it doesn't matter what he is. It matters what he does. And obviously that's coming from her heart because she is a monster. And she says, even monsters.
But what I do
in this world,
that defines me.
Oh, yeah. Well, so the shifter gets Dean. Oh my gosh. Then knocks out Jack as Dean. What? Yes, that's right. The shifter then turns
pretending to be. Yeah. Come on, catch up.
So I know, I'm like, I just watched this too. The bad shifter goes to shoot Sam, and Jack, who's half awake, Dean's like, come on, Jack, come on, you got this. He's like, I can't. He's half awake. The shifter goes to shoot Sam, and then he stops the bullet right there. He saves Sammy's life. Then Sam kills the shifter. Back home, Dean tells Jack, did good today, kid. And Jack smiles.
I remember the first time. No, I don't. My dad never told me he was proud of me. But if I did, I imagine I'd be like Jack.
So what happens in the empty?
Well, poor Cass is awake in the empty, yelling, hello. He then meets the empty who looks like him. The empty tells Cass that all of the dead angels and demons come here, and then he gets angry that Cass is awake because it woke him up. I was sleeping. I hate getting woken up, man. The empty tells him to think hard. Sleep. Yeah. The empty tells him to think hard about who the hell pulled him awake as Cass yells to release me. The empty is mad. Woo, boy. We then end the episode with Castiel waking up in a field. They really love just coming back from hell in a field, waking up from the empty in a field. To go.
Well, because that's where they spread their ashes or burn them or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why they're coming back to there. There's something in the script. I should look that up one day where it says something like he came to and like near a windmill or something. Because there's some people that get like
windmill,
script. I'm not sure exactly, but I guess some people will find the script.
Eat the windmill.
And so then with the script, you get more of like what the writer's intention was with the actor. I don't know what you're saying. You're going to eat a windmill?
You're saying windmill, so you makes it sound like you're saying
windmill.
You're saying MEAL, and I was like, oh, we're going to eat this windmill?
Windmill. Like,
I know. I'm just being a goober.
What was it? I used to say Munster.
It's Munsters.
And then
Munster cheese and a windmill.
Like,
we're putting some Munster cheese on that windmill.
So the therapist was also a psychic in The Mentalists.
Oh, interesting. Never seen that show.
No, in the episode The Mentalist, the one where
they do love reusing actors. Vancouver, small city after all. It's like the BBC network where they just reuse everybody.
Yeah, I think every Vancouver actor.
Which, speaking of, Billie Piper is in Wednesday season 2, and she looks vastly different. Like, she looks somewhat attractive now. I never thought. Okay, that sounded mean. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, never mind. That just sounded mean.
The 10th Doctor definitely found her attractive.
Let's go into advanced thanatology in episode 5, shall we? Where a couple of teenagers go into a creepy old house full of plague masks. No, this is definitely
great brewery in Dripping Springs near family business called Acapon Brewing, and it's covered in plague masks.
That's kind of cool.
And they do a lot of cask ale.
One kid gets killed by a ghost as the other runs away. The boys leave Jack at home this time and go to take the case on their own. All right, mom and dad need a little date night. Okay, I can relate. They go to visit the kid who survived. He's drawing plague masks, and he's no longer talking. After they leave, the kid wakes up from a nightmare and sees the evil ghost in his room. That's just sleep paralysis demon, man. So it is. Sam is being weirdly nice and suggests going to the local strip club. The Clam Diver, it's called, actually, because he knows Dean is in a dark place. The next morning, Dean snoring on the floor.
He wants to get into a darker place.
So Sam takes off on his own and questions one of the friends of the boys. Sam learned that the doctor that lived in the house would lobotomize and experiment on his patients. He was then tried and executed. Yeah, just didn't get a good Yelp review, that guy, I'm telling you. The mom calls the boys because her son disappeared. They go to the house looking for him. They then see the ghost and burn the plague masks, which gets rid of him. As they look for the kid, they get attacked by the victims of the evil doctor. So Dean tells Sam to kill him so he can ask the ghosts where the bodies are so that they can release their spirits. Dean's always the one trying to die, okay? He's always first in line to be...
his death wish.
Kill me, put me to sleep, bring me back, blah, blah, blah. If maybe you don't bring me back.
He doesn't even want to be brought back in this.
I know. So
Billy
Dean
calls him out.
That's true. Dean stabs a needle into his heart, to which Dean dies, and the Reaper shows. And when she realizes it's Dean, she's actually concerned. Okay, if Billy's concerned, things are kind of crazy. Just saying.
I love when the first Reaper shows up and she's like, "Hi, I'm here to take you to your next life." And he's like, "Yeah, great. I don't have time for this." And she's like when she realizes who it is, she's like, "Oh shit."
I know. Their reputation precedes them. Now she goes to tell everybody that Dean Winchester is in the Vale. While there, he sees the child who is dead. The ghost possessed him and killed him with the drill. That was dark. As Dean tries to find the bodies, Billy shows up as she is now Death. And the first Reaper to die after Death turns into Death. As we comes to find out, Death says she knows Dean is slipping between worlds. She wants to know how. So he then tells her to free the ghosts and he'll talk. She does, so he also talks. He's a man of his word, okay? Billy senses that Dean wants to die, but then tells him there are many different ways that he may die, but none say that he dies today. She then explains as Death. She now sees the bigger picture, and Sam and Dean have work to do, and boom, Dean's alive again. She shows like all the bookcases, right? Like these are like possible your ending essentially, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Rebar in any of them? Stupid ass ending.
Oh my god, no.
Look, this one says you die of a heart attack, which means he would have at least died of natural cause.
Listen, the man should have died face deep in some pie at a strip club. Now I could be
at the Clam Diver.
Yes. I don't know that I'd go to a strip club called the Clam Diver, though. That sounds like where you probably actually die for real because you hit yourself on like a dirty needle. Just saying. Doesn't sound clean, man. But anyways, Dean catches Sam up on Billy, telling him he just doesn't know if he still believes in that he just needs a win, man. He needs a dub, okay? As I punch my microphone.
He blames himself for this kid dying.
Yeah, so Dean gets a call. Castiel's back. There's his dub. Castiel, the grand return. It's like Gandalf. Who was Gandalf the Grey. He dies at the hands of a Balrog, and he shows up, and boom, there he is, Gandalf the White. That's what Castiel is at this moment. Boom, there he is. Castiel.
So anyways, fun facts. Thanatology is the study of human death, named after Thanatos.
You're right.
One of the Greek gods and the personification of death. In Greek mythology, similar to the Grim Reaper. It investigates the circumstances of a human's death, how the deceased loved ones deal and cope with the grief and the different attitudes. So you can see Dean is still dealing with the death of definitely Cass, somewhat Crowley, and a little bit his mom, because he's assuming she's dead too. I don't think he's that sad about it though, but that's just my personal opinion. So that is what that is, and of course Thanos was named after this god. So the staircase scene in the same house is the same house as Oliver Queen's house in the X Mansion. We were talking about something else recently. I don't remember what it was, and that was also filmed in that house.
What was it?
Was it Peacemaker?
No, it was Billy Madison.
Oh, it was Billy Madison.
It was Billy Madison. That's right.
Look at that. It's all connected. The plague masks we see in this were used during the bubonic plague. Well, maybe not the actual ones, but that style. They could have been. I don't know. Or the Black Death. The design was I actually didn't know this, and it makes so much more sense. The design was so that they could put herbs and flowers into it. So they were smelling things that smelled good and not just death. They also thought back in the 14th century that you could get diseases by smelling them. So obviously that part wasn't completely accurate.
Thank God for modern science, am I right?
Yeah, we should keep that around. It's useful.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're rolling back to the 14th century with the way our medicine's getting ready to go. Geez, we're cutting vaccines and stuff. So, hey, anything goes these days.
Yeah, so
this episode's creepy, man. I'm gonna be real. Like, the plague doctors themselves come off as creepy. They're not the creepy part, but the fact that these kids, it's about murdering kids. So this episode was naturally creepy, taking place in this house. But at the same time, I really liked the tonal shift with Billy, because every time she comes, she talks crap to Dean, essentially saying how much she shows up. I hate you. I hate you. And then she gets the chance, and she essentially is, nah, this ain't right.
She's like, I got it. It's like when
she's got that post-nut clarity going.
Right. It's when you finally get elected to a higher office and you're like, oh shit, I can't do anything I promised. I didn't know all this before.
I made a lot of promises and can't do any of this. So read this book. Check out this book. Don't read the book, actually. I don't want you to know. But these are all these books.
Yeah.
There you are.
I thought that was cool. They did great too. Like you're saying, it was a really sad episode with the kid dying. And when you hear the mom, that's always the most heartbreaking in movies. And
it's the parent. Yeah.
When you hear the mom or the parent, just the scream of them carrying her.
Gutturalness. Oh, dude.
I've seen this a million times, and I'm watching these on fast forward to recap these to prep everything. And I got teary eyed, just hearing her just scream.
100%. Dude. Oh man. Well, this is your favorite episode. Some fun. Yeah.
One of Tombstone. I think it's a great one. So they're in Dodge City. Dean and a cowboy are in a graveyard. The cowboy gets pulled underground. Then splash, supernatural. Now we go back to before that. Oh, that was pretty good. That sounded good.
I should be a
Dean
voice
and
actor. You're right.
that actually came from his vocal cords. That was not a sound. It was a sound, but it wasn't a pre-made sound. Dean and Sam go to pick up Castiel. He tells them he annoyed an ancient cosmic being so much that the cosmic being sent him back. They don't even test him. Dean just hugs him, and then Sam hugs him. They're just like, okay, we
I
believe
do
you.
love that's what makes it funny about their relationship, because they don't even question it. They're essentially, yeah, no, that tracks. That makes sense.
He's like, how long have I been gone? And Dean's just like, too damn long. Like, you couldn't tell him, like,
Yeah.
what you've been gone for like a month, maybe. I don't know. He's like, too damn long. So okay, so they don't test him, they hug him, big hugs, everybody's happy. As they try to figure out how he got out, Sam says Jack. So they go back to the bunker. Jack gets to meet Cass. And Jack found a case all on his own. Good for him. Jack thinks the dead are rising. He's still looking for zombies. Dean hears Dodge City, Kansas, and says he's in. Because they should check it out. 2 salty hunters, 1 half-angel kid, and a dude who just came back from the dead again. Team Free Will 2.0, here we go. Because remember, Team Free Will, the first one was like an ex-demon or blood junkie, like a newly raised from the, something like that. So, or an angel.
This is like the new Avengers.
It's the Avengers with the asterisk or whatever. Yeah. All right. So Dean is very happy, surrounded by cowboy pictures. Then, as the boys sleep, Jack and Cass talk about Kelly and they research the case. Jack learns a cop died and goes to wake up Dean while Cass tries to stop him because he's an angry sleeper. Dean pulls a gun on him and asks for coffee. I love that. Ha! As Dean and Cass go one way, Jack and Sam go the other. Dean tells Cass to act like he's from Tombstone. And he's like, yeah, the movie. I made you watch it.
I love this. Yes.
I'm your huckleberry. And like Cass is annoyed with Dean at this scene.
I know. He just came back to life, and it's just, really, dude? Why did he come back for this?
Like, yes, I remember this movie, Dean. And then Dean's annoyed by Cass not being excited. And then he's just like, it's really good to have you back.
I know. Yeah.
So Cass, then they go to meet the cop, and he's like, I'm Kilmer, Val Kilmer.
Oh, man.
The cop on scene knew the cop that died since he was born, so he is not happy. The cop tells Dean when they catch him, there won't be much to bring back to Texas because he assumes they're Texas Rangers, and Dean's very happy about that. Yes.
Well, fun fact, wasn't Sam, he played Walker, Texas Ranger in that brief reboot, right? Okay.
Yeah, and when they go, I think the episode is Frontierland. It's like one of them's Clint Eastwood and Sam's Walker, Texas Ranger. Was Dean Clint Eastwood, or am I thinking of Back to the Future 3, or am I thinking of both? I might be thinking of both.
Might be both, yeah.
Okay, so Sam and Jack go to the funeral home where the grave robbery happened that led to all of this. And then they go to the grave that was robbed and they see a chewed on human. I put brain, but I feel like it was a pelvis. Bone. I put bone and it auto-corrected to brain. That makes more sense. And they assume it's a ghoul. They figure out it's Dave Mather, who is an actual cowboy from Dodge City in real life. He was in the Dodge City gang in the 1800s, and he's dating the Undertaker, who just got into school in LA, and she is adorable.
Did he get thrown off the top of a Hell in a Cell? He's dating the Undertaker. Only real people. You might not know what that is.
So confused. It's a wrestling thing.
See, there you go. He got thrown off the top of the Hell in a Cell in 1998.
I didn't know that. I just knew the Undertaker was a wrestling thing. You know, there's a wrestling house at Horror Nights this year.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. If the line's short, I'll check it out.
I've been seeing a lot of videos with like the Art the Clown stuff and things like that.
The not Thriller. He's like going around on a bicycle. Tabby's
I've seen well, you can put a don't scare thing on.
She's gonna get a don't scare necklace, I think.
Come on, Tabby. Boo.
We've never seen it. Terrifier. Brielle and I are gonna watch it this weekend.
Oh, okay. Here's the thing.
Right.
Don't. Okay.
I heard they're not good and they're slow.
We'll talk after because we're in the middle of Supernatural. I'll tell you about Terrifier afterwards.
All right. So, we're the Undertaker. So he's dating the Undertaker, not to be confused with the Undertaker from wrestling. This is somebody who is an actual Undertaker in this show who just got into school in LA, but the guy doesn't want her to go. He's like, we got a good thing going here, man. You don't have money for that. Jack remembers then seeing this guy's picture when they visited the funeral home. So they go to talk to her again, and they say they need to talk to her boyfriend about a murder. She tells them that he went to the bank. What she didn't know was that he was robbing the bank. They go to stop him. A shootout starts, and Jack goes to stop the shootout, but ends up getting a security guard killed after he hits his head really bad. And apparently he must have said yes to the Reaper before Cass was able to save him. That's my best guess, because he's like, save him, Cass, save him. And I'm like, why can't he? But it must have been like, here's the Reaper, you're gone. That is my personal theory on why Cass can sometimes bring people back and can't.
That is interesting. That's a good theory.
It's like Ghost Dad, like, just go back into your body. I would love to show my kids that movie, but it's Bill Cosby. So I'm like,
oh yeah. That's why I wouldn't go to the wrestling house probably, because I'm not on I can't watch wrestling right now out of moral beliefs.
Oh, good. One less house I have to worry about. All
Yeah,
right.
there you
Cass
go.
asks if this is the first time he's hurt someone. Sam says no, but it is the first time someone hasn't gotten back on their feet. Dean tells Cass to take Jack home, and Sam goes with them. Dean sticks around and goes back to the funeral home. The local cop and him figure out it was Dave, and they team up. That's, of course, the two that we saw at the beginning of this episode. They're both there to not take him alive. I love when they both come to that, like, yeah, I'm not taking him alive either. Good, great, let's go. So Dean tells the cop to aim for the head. Now we're back to the beginning. Dean crawls into the ground where the cowboy cop had been sucked under. Because at the beginning, he just looks like a cowboy. Dean crawls down there. He ends up in the dead body prep room and finds the girlfriend / Undertaker, who's tied up, and finds the cop. Again, Undertaker, not to be confused with wrestling.
She did not get thrown off the top of the cell.
Nope. But she did get tied up. Dave is ready with a gun. The cop gets a shot off and
That's what we call a graveyard
Dave.
match.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. So Dean tells the cop he was never there and that Dave killed the security guard as well. Dean goes home. Jack asks if the guy had a family, and Dean tells him, yeah, he did. The boys try to make Jack feel better. Even Dean tries to make him feel better. But Jack says, no, I'm a monster. Dean actually tells him he's not and explains that they've all done bad. But Jack thinks if he stays, he'll eventually hurt them, and he can't do that. So Jack tries to leave, but not before accidentally throwing everybody against the wall.
Which is
another great outtake.
On accident.
Because in the outtake, he Jack has to act like he's doing something, and then you see them all like fake get thrown back, and they like roll dramatically on the floor. Their outtakes are worth watching.
Fun facts: Dean, Cass, Sam, and Jack use Russell, Kilmer, Elliot, and Paxton, respectively. Come on, if you haven't seen Tombstone, you got to watch Tombstone. While Dean is crawling through the tunnels underneath the graveyard, he paraphrases John McClane's line while crawling through the air vents in Die Hard. Sure, come to Dodge City. We'll have some laughs.
Have a few
drinks.
Sure, come to Dodge City. We'll have some laughs.
True. He also says this in LA and Hollywood Babylon back in season 2. Dave Mather was a real person born in Deep River, Connecticut on August 10th, 1851, who went by the nickname Mysterious Dave due to his tendency to be erratic and unpredictable. Now, his talent for slipping past the law and easily disappearing, Mather was a famous gunfighter, lawman, and occasional criminal, okay? Occasional.
It's good to keep him on, retainer so he can always have a little bite of Dave.
That's true. I absolutely adore anything Tombstone. You have to watch the movie, and I loved the homages that they did in this. And poor Jack. Dean's finally coming around, and then Jack's. It's every relationship back in the day. You're at high school, or you got a crush on a girl. Then she says, "No, I don't like you," but then you say, "Okay, I'm going to move on," and then all of a sudden she decides she likes you again, and it's just like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing with my brain? Why do I have an accent? I don't know.
I don't either. But yeah, this is episode 6. So for freaking 5 straight episodes, we got gloomy.
We've had 5 hours of Dean telling Jack what a piece of trash he is, but now all of a sudden Cass is back. He's like, I think I like being a dad. And he's like, what the hell,
let's
man?
Put on our suits. Let's get a steak dinner. And then let's go.
Saying, okay.
Dodge City.
What?
But it's kind of nice to see that because we haven't gotten funny. We've gotten funny Dean a little bit, but we've gotten like depressed, angry, funny Dean. We haven't gotten lighthearted Dean. Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's just happy-go-lucky, and Jack's supposed to be okay with this. No, dude, you told me you were going to kill me. I'm not.
Well,
okay
Sam's
with
even
this.
like, "What the hell, dude?" And he's like, "I wanted a big win. We got Cass back. That's a pretty big win." I feel like Sam's more obsessed with. When you saw that in the episode before, Sam's more concerned with getting Mom back. Dean feels like she's dead. And then Sam's issue was, you had a relationship with Mom. I never did. So I feel like
Sam's making a lot of sense.
He is. But Dean, I feel like, dealt with more of he was more angry at his mom.
Fair, because he had that relationship with her and she was a piece of trash. And Sam was young and naive. Okay. He's
Sam
naive.
Didn't remember her at all because she died when he was 6 months old, whereas Dean, I mean, think of how many memories you have. Some, like, I remember when my brother was born. I was 2. Like, I remember that. So like Dean at least has some memories of her. Like, you can remember, because he was almost 5 when she died. So like his memories obviously are going to be very far and few between and be more so like feelings than actual memories, but he at least has those. Sam never had that. And then she comes back and Dean was the only one that really felt like she was their mom. And so he is mourning a relationship he never had. And now he thinks he'll never get the chance. And I think Dean was kind of like, you know what? She was being not the greatest mom. And then she went out. I think he's happy. I think he got a little bit of closure with her going out saving them. That's, I think.
I agree.
What do I know?
I can go out that. Let's wrap it up here with War of the Worlds, which is episode 7. No, not the Tom Cruise movie, and no, absolutely not the Ice Cube movie. But this one is where Lucifer is
Is that
locked
like
up on
rated
Apocalypse
half a
World.
star on Prime or something?
Very generous. The boys are looking for Jack. Castiel goes to talk to somebody, which Dean finds a case about witches. Ooh, and Asmodeus continues to search for Jack. Yes, knock off KFC. Now, the boys are on this case and see Ketch on a surveillance camera. They meet up with a witch, as that's what Ketch is also hunting, and she has cuts all over her chest from him. She was able to escape. Turns out Ketch is looking for Rowena. Interesting. She confirms it's Ketch. They use her as bait and end up catching him. Haha.
I wrote Ketch a lot. Take a sip every time we say
They
Ketch.
take him back to the bunker and ask why he's not dead. He then tells them that he is his twin brother. He claims to be Alexander
You
Ketch,
must be confusing me with my brother. That's what you just now say. Like, come on. If somebody's saying like, oh, you did this, like, wouldn't that be your immediate thing? Like, no, I have a twin brother. Like, that took you a while.
Right. He then claims that he left the Men of Letters, and if they found him, he'd be dead. He also claims that he's just hunting witches, man.
That's what we do.
I'm just hunting witches, man.
Witches
there is a paperwork backing his claim up. Dean's not buying it.
I love that Dean doesn't buy it for a second. He does not buy it for a single second.
Castiel goes to another angel named Duma. They said that they don't have Jack, but if they did, they would use him to create more angels since they lost so many during the fall. She basically says that she will enslave Jack as Castiel fights Duma and a couple of other angels. Lucifer, boo, hello, and the other angels go, I'm out of here. On Apocalypse World, we meet there Kevin Tran. Poor Kevin. He's working on trying to open a rift up so that they can go to a not destroyed world. They need Archangel Grace, so Michael takes Lucifer's. The rift opens for only a second, and that's when Lucifer jumps right through.
That's how he was able to save Cass.
Yes. He is powerless, and he looks pretty homeless, and this is my favorite version of Lucifer, because he's unhinged. He goes to the gates to heaven, where the angels just flee. Castiel asks, why are you on this world? And Lucifer asks why he's even alive.
He's like, why
Lucifer
are you
tells
alive? He's like, I don't know.
He says, Michael's coming. Michael? Not Michael Myers, but kind of a version of that. He tells Castiel them and Jack cannot fight Michael. Lucifer then realizes that Castiel doesn't know where Jack... Castiel don't know Jack, because he doesn't know where Jack is. Asmodeus, meanwhile, is torturing the poor hotel clerk from Dodge City. This poor kid knows nothing, man, to which they then kill him. So knockoff KFC senses that Lucifer is back. Dean then gets a call from the Dodge City motel saying an evil Colonel Sanders was asking about Jack. They then call Castiel, who sounds weird because of Lucifer. So they lock up Ketch, follow Cass's phone. Lucifer and Cass are at the bar talking about Jack. They're having a couple of drinks, man. They're just bros, just broing out, talking about their son. That's right. They're just two dads talking about their son. Now they lock up Ketch. They go there. They talk about Jack, and in walks evil Colonel Sanders, who senses Lucifer's powers. Gasp! Lucifer's powers are actually weak. I'm sorry. And he attacks them both. By the time the boys get there, it's just random angels that attack. Ketch then shows up and helps them out. He got out of the chains and followed them there. Dean pulls his gun out. Calls him
because
Arthur.
He had a freaking he had a lock thingy in his ass. He goes, you didn't do the proper cavity search.
Oh my God. Yes, he comes clean, says he's alive because of Rowena. She had been captured by the Men of Letters, had a spell in her to keep her alive, which we've seen her use. He let her go in exchange for that spell, so he was looking for her to do the spell again. They say that she's dead now. Ketch takes off as Dean shoots him. We end this with Dean calling Castiel and Asmodeus fake Cass voice. We end this with Dean calling Cass. Asmodeus fakes Castiel's voice and answers. He's got Cass and Lucifer all locked up, won't let them out, and Ketch is working now for evil Colonel Sanders because he's just such a.
But do you think he always has a lock pick up his ass, or he just knew that he was going to get captured?
Well, he certainly acts like he does.
Case, I'll shove it up there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like when he tells them they didn't do the property cavity search, and they're just like, "Are you kidding me?"
That's nasty, gross.
All right, fun facts. This one is directed by Richard Speight Jr., aka Gabriel. The title is a nod, of course, to the H.G. Wells novel War of the Worlds about an alien invasion, also Tom Cruise movie. After Lucifer meets Castiel, they actually go to Nick's bar. Nick is the name of Lucifer's vessel. However, old Nick is actually a
Saint Nick,
colloquialism.
obviously.
I actually looked that up because I found that interesting. So Old Nick actually refers to the devil in Christianity. And my first thought was Old
Ooh.
Saint Nick. And so I feel like
Oh,
there's got to be a play on that somewhere. But yeah, I thought that was
probably.
interesting. I double checked that fun fact.
Well,
And it
I was just saying as a joke, and
does
here it is.
appear to be
All
true.
right. It's because we're connected. Yeah, I hate that Ketch is back, number one. I love this version of Lucifer, number two, because he's powerless and very funny and very just the homeless Lucifer thing. It works for me. All right, it really works.
She's like, honey, you're not Lucifer. My ex-husband's Lucifer.
It's great.
I love it too when there's this part where Lucifer's trying to tell Kevin, like, why are you doing what Michael wants you to do? He's a bad guy. Why? Because Kevin Tran's the one that's trying to do the spell to get. And he's like, aren't you the literal devil?
He's not wrong, but poor Kevin,
He's
man.
not wrong.
Poor Kevin. Yeah, and that's kind of where we wrap up here. Do you have any final thoughts with our Supernatural recap starting off the first episodes of season 13?
No, I'm good. Go watch Tombstone if you haven't seen it.
Ooh, go watch it. And then next week, we are going to be talking Gen V. And then this coming Wednesday, is it this Wednesday after this comes out, or the following week where we're going to do our live Supernatural?
So next week, which means the day after this week, hold on. September, today, this episode is coming out on September 8th. On September 9th, we will be live on Nerd Initiative doing Supernatural Trivia. And on September 10th, we will be doing a fun Supernatural show. We're not exactly sure yet. We're still planning that out. It's going to be fun.
Promise
it's going to be live.
Oh.
You can participate. You can answer questions. You can add comments. And then the following Monday, the 15th, we will be dropping a Gen V Season 1 recap because Season 2 starts the 17th.
There you go. That's why she writes things down, because I don't. But come hang out with us there. Find all of our Supernatural episodes on the playlist and all of the other things. Tell us your favorite moment so far. Make sure to tune in to live. Supernatural's turning 20. Guys, we're no big deal. We're like halfway almost through season 13. Okay, we're finally going places. Okay.
That is crazy when you said that. Like, you're like, oh, she was like, yeah, this show started when I was starting law school.
I know.
And to think, but I didn't get into it until years later.
And to think it took me till post show ending to even get into it.
Hell, I got into it almost 9 years ago. So it's been a minute. And the show still was on a lot longer before.
That's true. Go watch.
This is the first season I watched live. That's exciting.
Whoa, that is exciting. That's a big moment.
I remember looking forward to getting Logan down for a nap and watching this the next day.
Well, as Lauren reminisces, go like, subscribe, share, follow all of our podcasting platforms, and make sure to tune into our live. And we will catch you guys later. Peace out, Lucifer.